Methionylalenyl 3-anylcerylarginyl glycylalenyl cerylarginyl cysteanyl proly. Larginyl aspartylisolucylalenyl asparaginyl valyl methional glutaminyl larginyl. Lucyl glutaminyl aspartyl glutamyl glutaminyl glutamyl lisolucyl valyl glutamine. Lysylarginyl 3-anyl phenylalenyl 3-anylysyl tryptophyllosolucylase paragi. Nulcerylistidyllucylalenyl isylarginyl prolyl methional valyl va. Lylaspartyl aspartylysyl phenylalenyl glutamyl aspartyl methional isylaspart. Ylglycyl valyl isolucylalenyl lucylucyl glutamyl valylucyl serolg. Lysyl glutaminyl isolucyl prolyl cysteanyl glutamyl glutaminyl glycylarginyl. Reginal methional isylarginyl lisolucyl listidylalenyl valylalanyl asparaginyl. Solucyl glycyl 3-anylalenyl lucylysyl phenylalenyl lucyl glutamyl glycylar. Ginylysylisolucylysylucyl valyl asparaginyl solucylase paraganyl cerylth. Reanyl aspartylisolucylalenyl aspartyl glycylarginyl prolyl cerylosolucylvol. Elucyl glycylucyl methional tryptophyll 3-anylacyllucylisolucyl. Rosyl phenylalenyl glutaminyl lisolucyl glutamyl glutamolycyl 3-anylcerylase. Paraginylucyl prolyl glutaminylucyl glutaminyl cerylucyl ceryl. Alanyl ceryl valyl aspartyl cerylosolucyl valyl ceryl glutamyl 3-ane. Prolyl cerylysylarginyl isilvalyl 3-anylysyl. Solucyl glutaminyl glycylase paraganyl isolysylalanylucylucylyc. Tryptophyll valyl glutaminyl tyrosyl 3-anylalenyl glycylysyl glutaminyl 3-O. Nilglycylsolucyl glutamyl valyl isylaspartyl phenylalenyl glycylysyl cerylt. Ribdophylarginyl cerylglycyl valylalanyl phenylalenyl listidyl cerylvalylysol. Usolistidylalenyl prolyl glutamylucyl valyl aspartylysyl. Glutamyl 3-anylvalylysyl glycylarginyl cerolasparaginyl glutamyl asp. Araginylucyl glutamyl aspartylalanyl phenylalenyl 3-anylacyllucylalanyl. Utamyl 3-anyl glutamolycyl glycylysolucyl prolylarginylucylucylasper. Tilprolyl glutamyl aspartyl valylaspartylyl prolylaspartyl glue. Tamylysyl cerylosolucyl methional 3-anyl tyrosylvalylylanyl glutaminyl phen. Elalanylucylisylistidyl tyrosyl prolylaspartylisolucylistidylasparagi. Nilalanyl ceryl 3-anylaspartyl glycyl glutaminyl glutamolaspartylaspartyl glue. Tamylysolucylysyl prolyl glycyl phenylalenyl prolyl ceryl phenylalenyl. Asparaginyl cerylvalyl glutaminyl asparaginyl phenylalenyl isylarginyl glutami. Laspartylarginylvolilysylphenolalalysilglutamylmethionalysylvaly. L-tryptophyllosylglutamalglutaminylphenylalanylglutamallarginylaspartyl. Lysyl-3-enilarginylalanylglutaminylmethionylvalylglutamalcerolasparagen. E-lysylglutaminyllaspartylysiltyrosylglutaminylcerylphenolalalylysiles. Titylphenolalalylarginylvalylglutaminyltyrosilglutamalmethionelysylargin. Eel-lysylglutaminylysylysylglutamalystidilysylysylglutaminylprolil. Lysylistidylarginylaspartylglycylysylcerylysylglutamin. Elalanylusylvalylysylglutaminylceryltryptophylaspartylarginylvalylthr. Onylcerollarginylysylphenolalalylaspartyltryptophylistidylysylysylglut. Aminolysyllaspartylysylcerylysylprolylalalyl-prolylysylglycyl-3-ene. Lysylysylglycylalalyl-tryptophyllosyltyrosylarginylalalyl-glutamylvalylal. N-lysylarginylglutamalglutamalysylysylglutaminylglutamin. Eelvalylistidylglutamal-glutamal-3-enilalanylalasparaginil-3-enilysylysyl. Glutaminyllarginylysyl-glutaminylistidylysyllaspartylysyl. Lysylglutaminyllasparagynil-3-enilaspardylalalylistidylysylarginolalan. Eel-phenolalanylistidylglutamalysyltyrosylarginil-3-enilarginylceril. Valylysparagynylglycylysylprolylvalylprolylaspartylglutaminyl. Usylglutamallaspartylmethionalalanylglutamallarginil-phenolalanylistidylf. Enilalanylvalylcerol-3-enilcerol-glutamalysylistidylysylmethion. Eel-lysylmethionylglutamalphenolalanylysylglutamalysyltyrosylargin. E-lysylysylcerylysylvalylysylalalanylglutamalcerylysylysyl. Isylceryltryptophyllosylysylysyltyrosylglycylarginylarginylglut. Amylcerylvalylglutamalglutaminylysylysylglutaminyllasparagynil-tyrosylv. Alylcerylphenolalanylysylglutamallasparagynil-cerylysylphenolalanylf. Enilalanylglutamalglutaminyltyrosyl-glutamalvalyl-3-enil-tyrosylglutaminyl. Isolysylysylglutaminylal-3-enilalanylglutamalmethionil-tyrosylvalil. Lysylalanylaspartylglycylcerylvalylglutamal-glutamalalalanylglutamallasparagi. Nilvalylmethionylysylphenolalanylmethionalasparaginil-glutamal-3-enilthr. E-enilalanylglutaminyltryptophylarginyllasparagynilysylcerylvalylglutamal. Valylarginylcerylvalyllarginylcerylmethionylyrasylglutamal-glutamalvaliliso. Lysylcerolasparaginil-tryptophylaspartylarginil-tyrosylglycylasparaginilth. Reinylvalillanil cyrilysyl glutaminylalanyl tryptophylysyl glutamolasper. Tylalanyl glutamylysyl methionylulcylase paragonyl glutaminyl glutamylase. Paraginylalanylysilysilaspartyl phenylalanyl phenylalanyl arginylasparagon. Elucyl prolylistidil tryptophylosylysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl thr. Onylalanyl methionylasparaginylaspartylalanyl glycylase paragonyl phenylalanyl. Lucilysolysyl glutamyl 3-anyl cystinylaspartyl glutamyl methionylvalilsar. Elarginylaspartyl glutaminyl glutaminylucilucilucilucila. Sparaginyl glycylarginyl tryptophylarginyl glutamylucyl phenylalanyl methion. L-glutamyl-valilysyl glutaminyl tyrosilylanyl glutaminylalanylaspartyl glutam. L-methionylaspartyl methionylysilysyl glutamyl tyrosyl 3-anylaspar. Tilcystinyl valyl 3-anylucylcerilalanyl phenylalanyl 3-anyl. Glutamylalanylistidylysilysilucylceryl glutamyl prolyleucyl glutamyl va. Lilceryl phenylalanyl methionylasparaginyl valilisylucilucilisolucylgal. Utaminylaspartylysyl glutamolaspartylisolucyl glutamyl glutaminylarginylv. Allyl-prolylvalil methionylaspartylalanyl glutaminyl tyrosilicylisolucilysol. Ucyl 3-anylysyl 3-anylalanylistidylucilisolucyl 3-anylysyl gluta. Milceryl prolyl glutaminyl glutamyl glycylycyl glutamyl methionyl phene. Lalanylalanyl 3-anyl methionyl cyrilysilucilysyl glutamyl glutaminyl Il-3-anylysyl valilisyl glutamyl cystinyl tyrosyl cyryl prolyleucilulcult. Urosyl glutamyl cyryl glutaminyl glutaminylucilucilisolucyl prolyleucilg. Lutamyl glutamylucyl glutamylysyl glutaminyl methionyl 3-anyl cyryl phenyla. Lanyl tyrosylaspartyl cyrilucyl glycylcylacylase paragonyl glutamylyso. Lucilysolucyl 3-anyl valileucyl glutamolarginyl glutamylalanyl glutaminyl. Cyrylcerilalanylycyl phenylalanylysyl glutaminylycylistidyl glutaminylg. Lutamylucilucilalanyl cystinyl glutaminyl glutamolasparagonyl cystinyl. Icylysyl 3-anylucyl 3-anylucilisolucyl glutamolysyl glycylcyrylglu. Tamionylcyrylvalyl glutaminylysyl phenylalanyl valyl 3-anylucylcyrolaspar. Agenylvalillucilicylistidyl phenylalanylaspartyl glutaminyl 3-anylargin. Elucyl glutaminylarginyl glutaminylisolucilalanylaspartylysolucilistid. Elvalillalanyl phenylalanyl glutaminyl cyryl methionyl valilysilysyl 3-anylg. Lysilaspartyl tryptophylysilycilistidyl valyl glutamyl 3-anylasparaginmyl. Cyrilarginylucyl methionylysilysyl phenylalanyl glutamyl cyrilarg. Inilalanil glutamilucyl glutamilysilvalucyl arginylosolucylalanil glu. Tamanil glutamyl glycilucyl glutamyl glutamilycyl glycylase perdyl prolyl gluta. Mil glutamilucylucyl arginylistidil 3-inyl glutamyl phenylalanil. Phenylalanil cerol glutaminylulcylase perdyl glutaminyl arginylvalucylase Pa. Raginilalanil phenylalanilucylicylalanil cystinyl aspartyl glutamilucyl. 3-inyl aspartylisolucylucyl prolyl glutamyl glutaminyl glutaminal glutaminyl glycilucyl glutaminyl glutamilalanil valulyl arginylysilucylist. Idolysyl glutaminyl tryptophylicylaspartylurysyl glutaminyl glycyl glutamila. Lanil prolyl tyrosylistidillucylucylicylasolucylase perdy. Valyl glutamilycylasparaginal arginyl phenylalanilucylalanil cyrilvalilgal. Utamyl glutamyl cystinyl arginyl 3-inyl glutamilucylase perdyl arginyl glutam. Il 3-anylysilucyl methionil prolyl glutaminyl glutamyl glycylcerol glutamyl. Lysilisolucylicyl glutamyl listidil arginylvalyl phenylalanil phene. Lalanil cyrilaspartylycyl glycyl prolylistidilistidillucyl cystinyl gluta. Malicyl arginylucyl glutaminylucylisolucyl glutamilyl cyst. Invalilisylucyl prolylvalyl arginylaspartyl prolylvalyl arginylaspartylt. 3-inyl prolyl glycyl 3-inyl cystinyl listidil valulyl 3-anylucylicyl gluta. Malucyl arginylalanilalanisolucylase perdyl cyryl 3-inyl tyrosyl arginyl. Isilucyl methionil glutamilaspartyl prolylaspartylycyl tryptophylicylaspa. Rtyl tyrosyl 3-inyl cyryl arginyl phenylalanil cyryl glutamyl phenylalanil cyryl. Cyryl tryptophylisolucyl cyryl 3-inyl asparaginil glutamyl 3-inyl glutamine. Luracilicyl glycilisolucylicyl glycyl glutamilalanilosolucylase perdilthur. Anilalanil asparaginilistidil glycyl glutamyl valylycyl arginylalanil valylgal. Utamyl glutamilisolucyl arginyl asparaginil glycyl valyl 3-anylycyl arginylg. Lysyl glutamyl 3-anylucyl cyryl tryptophylicylicyl cyryl arginylucyli. Silvalylucyl 3-anyl glutamyl valyl cyryl glutamyl asparaginil glutamila. Lanyl glutaminylycyl glutaminyl glycylase perdyl glutamilucylalanylycyluk. Cyryl phenylalanilcylalanylucyl valyl 3-anylucylucyls. Rol glutamyl valyl glutamilycyl methionelycyl cyryl asparaginil phenylalanilg. Lysylase perdyl cystinyl valyl glutaminyl tyrosylicyl glutamylisolucyl valuly. Cylasparaginal cyrilucyl glutamyl glutamilucylisolucyl cyryl glycyl cyryl. Isilglutamyl valyl glutaminyl glutamyl glutaminyl glutamyl isolysyl. Lucylase bertyl 3-anyl glutamyl asparaginyl lucylphenylalanyl glutamyl glutaminyl lucyllistidyl glutaminy Lysyl 3-anyl esylarginyl lisylsylcerylalaanyl isylarginyl aspartyl Va Lil glutaminyl lisylsylalanyl glutaminy Glutaminyl glycylprolyl aspartyl arginyl glycylase Tidal glutamyl lucylarginyl esylysyl glutamyl ceryl 3-anyl lucilla Spartyl glycylysyl glutamyl arginyl ceryl arginyl glutaminyl Utamyl arginyl isolysyl glutaminyl valyl 3-anyl lucylarginyl esyltri Toffel glutamyl arginyl phenylalaanyl glutamyl 3-anyl asparaginyl esylglutamy 3-anyl valylarginyl tyrosylysyl phenylalaanyl glutaminyl 3-anyl glic Ylceryllistidyl glutamyl arginyl phenylalaanyl lucylceryl phenylalanyl cer Ylceryllucyl glutamyl ceryllucyl glutamyl glutaminy 3-anyl esyl glutamyl phenylalanyl cerylesylarginyl 3-anyl glutamyl ceryli Solucylalanyl valyl glutaminyl glutamyl asparaginyl lucylvalyl isylglu Tamylalanyl ceryl glutamyl lisolucyl glycylprolyl glutaminyl aspara Ginylysyl glutaminyl lucyllucyl glutaminyl isyl Cerylsolucyl glutamyl valyl isylysyl glutamyl asparty 3-anyl glutamyl asparty lisolucyl 3-anyl methionyl glue Tamyl methionyl valylysyl 3-anyl esyl tryptophyl aspartylistidyl phenylalanine Ylglycylceryl asparaginyl phenylalanyl glutamyl 3-anyl lucylcerylvalyl trypt Ophilysolucyl 3-anyl glutamyl isyl lucylase paraginal Alanylucyl glutamyl 3-anyl cerylalaanyl methionyl aspartyl methion Ylglutaminyl lisolucyl isylvalyl 3-anyl isolusylg Glutaminyl cerylysyl cerylysyl valley Glycylysyl glutamylalanyl glutaminyl ceryl phenylalanyl ala Nil glutaminyl phenylalanyl valyl 3-anyl glycyl cerylalanyl Ginylysyl isylalanyl isolysyl 3-anyl lisolucylarginyl arg Inultyrosyl glutamyl lucylarginyl listidylalanyl gluta Minylcystinylysyl glutamyl 3-anyl isolysyl glycylistidyl Usylceryl glutaminyl isyl phenylalanyl glutamyla Sparaginylucylarginyl esylysyl glutaminyl cerylvalylcerylg Glutamyl phenylalanil glutamal aspartylisylusilalanil valyl prolylsolusyl. Acetylsolusyl cystinyl cerulsurilalanil 3-anyl glutamal 3-anyl tyrosilicy. Valylusyl glutaminil glutamal listadyl methionil aspartylysyl cystinyl glu. Taminilalanil glutamal cerulsyl cerulsurilalanil isolusyl 3-anyl. Anyl phenylalanil cerulalanil cerulalanil arginil silvalilvalil asparaginilar. Ginylaspartyl ceryl cystinyl valyl glutaminil glutamal alanilalanil glutaminil tyrosyl glutamal aspartylisolusilusilargy. Nilarginil glutamal arginil glutaminil 3-anylalanil glutami. Lasparaginillusilusilalanilistidil tryptophyl glutaminil arginilusilgal. Utamilysyl glutamilysyl cerulcyryl phenylalanilysyl 3-anyl tryptophila. Usyl glutamal arginil glycyl glutamal cerulcyryl prolyl glutami. Methionil aspartylisolusyl cerulalanil aspartyl arginil valilisilvalil gluta. Milglycyl glutamilysyl glutaminilysilisolysyl glutaminalalanilsyl glu. Taminil asparaginil glutamal valyl cerul glutaminalalanil ceryl phenylalani. Tyrosyl cerulisilusilusyl glutaminilysilisyl glutamal cerylusulf. Nilalanil cerylvalilalanil cerylisyl aspartyl valylysyl methionilmit. Hyonylysilusilystidylusyl glutamal glutaminilysylase glutamilar. Ginyl tryptophyl arginil aspartylysyl prolyl glutaminilysolusilysolase. Araginilysyl arginilysolase paraginil phenylalanilysyl glutaminyl ceryl. Valylalanil glutamal listidyl glutaminil phenylalanil aspartylg. Glutamilysilusilusyl ceryl phenylalanil cerylvalyl tryptophylisolucily. Silusyl phenylalanilysyl ceryl glutamilysyl glutaminil 3-anyls. Aryl glutamalysolusyl cerylsolusyl methionil aspartylistidyl glutaminylvol. Elalanilysyl 3-anyl arginilystidylysyl aspartylistidylalanil glu. Tamil valyl glutamal cerylisylysyl glycyl glutamilysyl glutaminyl cerylusi. Glutaminil glycylistidylusilalanilisylusyl glycyl cerylusyl glycylar. Ginylalanil glutamal aspartylisylistidylusilusyl glutaminil glycylici. Lalanil glutamal aspartyl cystinyl phenylalanil glutaminillysyl phenylalanilg. Glutamyl glutamal ceryl glutaminil valyl glutamal arginil gluta. Minilysilalanillysyl cerylistidylusilalanil glutamal phenylalanilysi. Glutaminyl cerylistidylalanil cerylusyl ceryl glycylisolusilusilargini. Glutaminylysyl arginil glutaminil 3-anilvalyl glutamalanil 3-anilaspa. Raginil Cyril methional asparaginil ethyl asparaginil glutamyl cyril aspartylyl Elisolusyl glutamyl ethyl aspartylyl asparaginil aspartylalanolusyl glut Aminyl asparaginil alanil ethyl alanalusyl glutamyl cyril alanil alanil valylsyr Elusyl aspartyl glycylysolusyl cyril ethyl alanil glutaminyl tyrosyles Tidalusyl icylisolusyl glycylcyril cyril glutamyl glutaminyl arginil threonine Cyril cystinyl arginil alanil threonil alanil aspartyl glutaminylusyl cysteine Glycyl glutamyl valyl glutamyl arginil isolusyl glutaminyl asparaginilusyl Usyl glycyl threonil esyl glutaminyl cyril glutamyl alanil aspartyl alanilusyl Alanil valylusyl isyl isyl alanil phenyl alanil glutaminyl aspartyl glutaminyl Lysyl glutamyl glutamylusyl isyl cyril isolusyl glutamyl aspartylisol Usyl glutamyl arginil threonil aspartylysyl glutamyl arginilusyl icy Glutamyl prolyl threonil arginil glutaminyl alanilusyl glutaminyl glutaminyla Reginilusyl arginil valyl phenyl alanil asparaginil glutaminylusyl glutamylase Partyl glutamilusyl asparaginil cyrillistidyl glutamilystidyl glutamilusi Cystinyl tryptophylusyl isyl aspartylysyl alanilysyl glutaminylisolusi Lalanil glutaminyl isyl aspartyl valyl alanil phenyl alanil alanil prolyl glutamyl Valyl aspartyl arginil glutamilisolusyl asparaginil arginilusyl glutamyl vally Threonil tryptophyl aspartyl threonil esyl arginilusyl isolusyles Tidal glutamyl asparaginil glutaminyl glycyl glutaminyl cystinyl glycy Luracylysolusyl aspartylysyl methionil arginil glutamyl tyrosyl glutaminylase Paraginilusyl isyl cyril alanil valyl cyril esyl valylusyl glutamyl asparagi Nilalanil cyril valylisolusyl valyl threonil arginil threonilysol Usyl isyl aspartyl glutaminyl glutamyl aspartylysyl isyl tryptophyl alanilf Inilalanil cyril esylistidyl glutamyl threonil alanil isyl asparaginilisylum Thionyl asparaginil tyrosyl esyl glutaminyl isyl aspartylysyl aspartylaspara Ginyl phenylalanil threonil cyril esyl glycyl esylistidylusyl cyrolgal Utamilusyl isyl isylisolusyl listidyl cyril aspartyl phenylalanil seri Lurasyl valylysyl threonil aspartyl methionil glutamyl cyril threonil valylaspar Tilysyl tryptophylusyl aspartyl valyl cyril glutamilysylusyl glutamyl glut Amyl asparaginil methionil aspartyl arginilusyl arginil valyl cyrilusyl cyril Isolusyl tryptophyl aspartyl valylusyl cyril threonil arginil asparty Glutamyl glutamyl glycyl tryptophyllceryl asparaginyl cyst. Inyl valyl prolyl glutaminyl methionyl alanyl glutamyl asparaginyl isolysyl seri. Lasparaginylysyl aspartyl asparaginylistidylysyl arginyl alanyl glutamylg. Glutamylysyl glutamyl phenylalanyl glutamylceryl glutamyl valiolyse. Elasparaginylysyl arginylysyl glutamylysyl listidyl. Cyrilysyl asparaginyl aspartylysyl glutamylysyl 3-anylysyla. Sparaginylysyl glutamyl 3-anyl prolyl aspartylysyl glutaminyl phene. Lalanylysyl glutamyl alanyl aspartylysyl methionyl glutaminylysylucy. Glutamylistidyl alanylysyl glutamolysyl 3-anyl glutamyl valiolalanyl. Acylglycyl 3-anylysyl aspartyl phenylalanyl 3-anyl alanyl glutaminyl. Cyryl 3-anyl glutaminyl valyl glutamylysyl phenylalanyl isolysyl asparaginyl. Aspartylysyl 3-anyl tryptophyll phenylalanyl 3-anylysilvalyl. Glutamyl cyrilysyl methionyl asparaginyl cystinyl alanyl glutaminyla. Sparaginyl glutamyl 3-anyl cystinyl glutamyl alanyl isolysilvalyl. Elaspartylysyl glutaminylysyl glutamylysyl glutaminylceryl glutaminyl. Glutaminylceryl asparaginylysyl ceryl 3-anyl glutaminyl glutamylase. Paraginylysyl asparaginyl cyrilysyl cystinyl arginylysyl tyrosylistidyl. Cyrillalanyl glutamylysyl cyrilysyl glycyl arginyl alanyl methionylt. Hreanyl glycylysylisylisylistidyl glutamyl alanyl valylceryl glue. Tamanylysyl cystinyl cyrilysyl 3-anyl glutaminyl alanyl cyrilysyl glutam. Inyl glutamyl cyrilysyl glutamolysylistidyl phenylalanyl ceryl glutamyl seri. Methionyl glutaminyl glutamyl phenylalanyl glutaminyl glutamyl tryptophyll phene. Lalanylysyl glycyl alanylysyl alanylyl glutamoylcerylase. Partylarginyl 3-anyl glycyl aspartyl cyrilysilvalylysyl glutamolalanyl. Elucylistidyl aspartylysyl glutaminyl asparaginylysyl asparty. Cyrylvalyl aspartyl glycyl glutaminyl cyrilysyl aspartyl alanyl. El 3-anyl glutaminyl glutamyl glycyl glutaminyl 3-anylysyl tyrosyl alanyl. Stydylysyl cyrilysyl glutaminyl isolysyl valylceryl cyrilysyl glutamin. El glutamyl glutaminyl isolysyl 3-anylysyl alanyl asparaginyl glutamyl glutam. El phenylalanyl glutaminyl alanyl phenylalanylysyl glutaminyl cystinyl. Usilysyl aspartylysyl glutaminyl alanylysyl glutaminyl aspartyl cystinyla. Lanylceryl glutamylysyl glycyl cyryl phenylalanyl glutamyl aspartyl glutaminyl. histidillarginylsilicylase paraginylysyl tryptophyllosolicylistidyl glue. Tamil methionyl glutamyl glutamyl arginyl phenylalanil asparaginyl 3-anyl gluta. Mylasparaginylysyl glycyl glutamyl cyrilysyl glutaminyl listidylsolicyl pair. Olyl glutamylysyl asparaginyl glutamyl valylistidylsylvalyl glutamylm. Ethionyl phenylalanylysyl glycyl glutamylysylysylalanyl arginylgal. Utamyl cyrilysilase perdilysilysyl cyryl glutaminyl arginyl glycyl glutamine. Lurisylysyl cyryl glutamyl glutamyl glycylistidyl glycylalanyl glycyl glutami. Nil glutamyl glycyl arginylysyl cystinyl cyryl glutaminylysylysyl 3-ene. Cyrilystidyl glutaminyl asparaginylysylysyl arginyl methional 3-anyl. Sil-glutamylysylysyl arginyl cyryl cystinyl glutaminyl valylalanylysyl glue. Taminyl glutamylistidyl glutamylalanylysyl glutamyl glutamylalanylysyl. Utaminyl cyryl methional tryptophyll phenylalanyl tryptophyll valylysylalanylyso. Lysyl glutaminyl aspartyl arginylysylalanyl cystinylalanyl glutamyl cyrylth. Reanylysyl glycyl cyrilysyl aspartyl 3-anylysyl glutamylysyl arginyletu. Silcyryl glutaminyl lysolysyl glutaminyl aspartyl lysolysylysylysyl methion. Eel-lysyl glycyl glutamyl valylysylylase paraginyl methionylal. N-lysolysyl glycylysyl glycyl glutamyl glutaminyl alanylysyl arginyl cyryls. Arylasparaginylysyl glutamyl glycyl glutaminyl arginyl valylysolysyl glutamin. Eel 3-anyl glutaminylysyl glutamyl 3-anylysylysyl glutamyl valyl triptop. Hylalanyl aspartylysolysyl methionyl cyryl valylistidylanyl glut. Aminyl cyryl 3-anylysyl glutamyl cyryl valylysolysyl cyryl glutaminyl tripto. Phylasparaginyl aspartyl tyrosylvalyl glutamyl arginylysyl asparaginyl glutami. Nilysyl glutamyl glutaminyl tryptophyll methionyl glutamyl cyryl valylaspartylg. Glutaminylysylysyl glutamyl listidyl prolylysyl glutaminyl prolyl glutam. Inyl prolyl glycylysylysyl glutamylysyl phenylalanyl valylysylysyl pa. Retilystidylysyl glutaminyl cyrilysolysylysyl cyryl glutamylalanyl glutam. Elaspartylistidyl 3-anyl arginylalanylysylistidyl arginylysylysoluk. Elalanylysyl cyryl arginyl glutamylysyl tyrosyl glutamylysyl 3-anyl glutam. Elaspartyl glutamyl cyryl phenylalanylysyl aspartyl 3-anylalanyl glutaminylg. Glutamyl glutamylysylysyl 3-anyl glutaminyl phenylalanyl asparaginyl aspart. Elasolysyl methionyl 3-anyl valylalanylysyl glutamylysyl methionyl arginyl. Lysylvalyl glutamyl lysolysyl valylysyl aspartyl listidylysyl methio. Naltyrosilicylase perdilalanil valilistidyl glutamyl phenylalanil 3-anilase. Partyl tryptophyllosilistidyl serilalanilysyl glutamyl glutamylusilisty. Dolarginyl tryptophyll serilasperdyl methionyl serylglycolase perdyl serylserilal. Enyl 3-enyl glutaminylsilysilucyl serylisilysilysyl glutamiletu. Salicylucylase perdyl serylarginyl glutamylisolucyl glycolalanil serylarginyl. Lucyl serylarginyl valyl glutamyl serylucylalanil prolyl glutamyl valilysylg. Glutaminylasparaginyl 3-enyl 3-enilalanil serylglycyl cystinyl glutamiletu. Sulmethionylistidyl 3-enyl glutamyl methionyl glutaminylanilusilargini. Lalanylasperdyl tryptophylysyl glutaminyl tryptophyll glutamolasperdyl serilva. Lyl phenylalanil glutaminyl 3-enyl glutaminyl seryl cystinylucyl glutamylase. Paraginylucyl valyl seryl glutaminyl methionylanilucyl seryl glutamyl glut. Aminyl glutamyl phenylalanil seryl glycyl glutaminyl valylalanil glutaminylucy. Glutamyl glutaminylanilucyl glutamyl glutaminyl phenylalanil serylalanil. Usilusilysyl 3-enyl tryptophyllalanil glutaminyl glutaminylucyl 3-ene. Luracillucyl glutamyl glycylcylasparaginyl 3-enylasperdyl glutamyl glutam. Elisolucyl valyl glutamyl cystinyl tryptophyllistidylsyl glycyl glutaminylg. Glutamylisolucylase perdilalanilucyl glutaminylysilalanil glutamyl pair. Oleolarginyl 3-enyl glutamolasperdyl seryl glutaminylucylase para. Ginyl glutamolycyl cystinylarginyl phenylalanil serylarginylasperdyl. Seryl 3-enyl tyrosyl serylglycylsyl valyl serylglycylsilicylisylg. Glutamyl tyrosylasparaginyl cystinylucyl glutaminylalanils. Releasyl glycyl cystinyl glutaminylaparaginylysyl glutamyl glutaminylysoletu. Silucyl glutaminyl glutaminylarginyl phenylalanilarginylysilalanil phenyla. Lanalarginylasperdyl phenylalanil glutaminyl tryptophyllosol valyl. Asparaginylalanilysilisolucyl 3-enyl 3-enylalanilysyl cystinyl phenyl. Alanylasperdylisolucyl prolyl glutaminylasparaginylisolucyl seryl glutamylv. Alyl seryl 3-enyl serylucyl glutaminylisolucyl glutaminyl glutamylv. Nylilanilucyl seryl glutaminylasparaginyl glycyl glutaminylisty. Delicylulcylase paraginyl methionyl methionylucyl serylysyl glycyl glutamyl. Lucilucyl seryl 3-enylucilucyl 3-enylysyl glutamilysilalanilysy. Glycylsolucyl glutaminylanilysyl valyl 3-enylalanilysyl glutam. Elaspartyl tryptophyllisilasparaginyl phenylalanilistidyl serylasparaginyl. Usilystidyl glutaminylysyl glutamal serilalanelysyl glutamal asparaginal. Usilysylysyl glutaminyl methionelysyl aspartyl phenylalanil glutamal Va. Lilcyrrolalanil glutamal prolylysolysyl glutaminyl aspartyl tryptophylosyls. Releasyl 3-anyl glutamilysyl methionil valylistidyl glutamal cyrylcyrylaspa. Raganylarganylysyl tyrosyl aspartylysyl prolylalanylysyl arganylarganilg. Glutamyl glutaminyl glutaminylsylysyl glutaminyl cyrylvalylysyl glutamalg. Glutamylysolysylistidyl cystinyl tyrosyl glutamal prolyl glutaminylysylase. Araganylarganylysyl glutamilysyl glutaminyl glutaminylysyltr. Eptophyl glutamal glycyl glutaminylalanil cyrilysyl cyrylphenylalanylar. Ganylistidyl arganyl valylcyryl glutaminylysyl cyrylcyryl glutaminyl tyrosyl. Lysylalanylysyl cyrylasparaginylysyl 3-anylysyl glutamilysyl valyls. Rylarganylysylaspartylarganylysyl valylalanil glutamalystidil aspara. Ganyl glutaminyl phenylalanil cyrilysyl glycylysolysylysyl glutamilysulg. Glutaminyl aspartyl tryptophyl methionil 3-anyl aspartylalanylysolysylistid. Ylmethionyluracylase cyryl tyrosyl cystinylistidyl prolyl 3-anyl cyryl. Aspartylysyl cyrylvalylysylase partyl cyrylarganyl 3-anylysylysylusy. Glutamilalanylysylysyl cyrylvalylysyl glutaminyl glutamilysyl glutamal. Isolysyl glutaminyl methionelysyl methionelysylysyl valyl 3-anyl arganylgal. Isyl glutamal cyrylvalylysyl glutaminyl asparaginyl 3-anyl cyryl prolyl gluta. Milglycylysolysyl prolyl 3-anylysolysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl glutaminyl. Usyl glutaminyl cyrylvalylysyl aspartyl methionil tryptophylalanyl cyrilysyl. Lysyl cyrilalanil glycylysolysyl arganyl cystinylysyl cyryl glutaminylusy. Glutamal glycylalanylysyl cyrilysyl tryptophyl 3-anyl cyryl tyrosyl glutam. Inylaspartyl glycyl valylarganyl glutaminyl phenylalanil cyryl glycyl tryptophyl. Methionylaspartyl cyryl methional glutamilalanil asparaganylysilase paraginal. Glutamal cyryl glutamilarganyl glutaminylistidylalanil glutamilysilarganyl. Aspartylysyl 3-anyl methionyluracyl glycylysilalanylysilucyl. Usylase paraganyl glutamal valylysyl cyryl tyrosyl cyryl cyrilysyl. Usyl glutamal 3-anylysilucyl glutamal valylysyl glycylalanyl glycylmethione. 3-anyl glutamal tyrosylvalyl 3-anyl glutaminylysyl glutamilug. Glutaminyl aspartylysyl glutaminyl glutamilarganyl tyrosylarganylalanilus. Olysyl glutaminyl glutamilarganylalanilisyl glutamilalanil valyl 3-anyl. Ilsarolglutamalysylysylvallarginylysylistidylglutaminylglutamyltyr. Acylglutaminolarginylaspartylysilanylphenylalanylglutamalvalyltr. Eptophyllosylglutaminylglutamalglutamalysylysylazepert. Ylglutaminyltyrosylcerylvalilysylglutamalglycylazepert Reinylistidylglutamal 3-anyl 3-anylysylarginyllaspartylysilglutamin. Ylglutamalysylglutaminolvalilistidylcystinylalanylglutamalglycylgluta. Minalalanylysylysylazeparaginylcerylvalilysylistidil 3-anylarginil. Glutamal-aspartyl-valilysylysylprolylsyrolglycylysylprolylglutaminala. Lanil-glutamal-aspartyl-larginylalanelusylglutamal-cerylysyllarginylglutami. Nylaspartyl-tryptophyl-glutaminolalanyl-tyrosyl-glutaminolistidil-arginyl-look. Ylcerol-glutamal 3-anyl-arginyl 3-anyl-glutaminol-phenylalanil-asparaginylase. Paraginyl-valil-valil-asparaginylysyl-arginylysyl-methionyl-glutamalgl. Utaminylysyl-phenylalanil-glutaminol-valil-aspartyl-glutamal-triptop. Hylucylysyl 3-anyl-glutamal-glutamal-lysyl-valilcyryl-prolylarginylt. Hreanyl-arginyl-arginyl-glutaminol-cerol-asparaginyl-arginyl-alanil 3-anylysyl. Glutamal-lysyl-lystidil-glutaminol-methionylysyl-isyltri. Tofylistidil-glutamal-glutamal-valil 3-anyl-alanil-tyrosyl-arginyl-aspartyl-G. Lutamil-valil-glutamal-glutamal-valil-glycylalanil-arginyl-alanil-glutaminil-gluta. Mylisylysylysylazepryl-valil-asparaginyl-cerylargin. Eel-methionylglycylcystinyl-glutaminol-alanil 3-anyl-glutaminolysylthreony. Ylcerylarginyl-tyrosyl-glutaminol-alanil-lysyl-lysyl-glutaminol-valil-look. Eel-glutamal-glutaminol-lysyl-lysyl-phenylalanil-lysyl-glutamal-gluta. Mylisylysylglutaminol-ceryllysyl-glutamal-glutamal-cerol-glutamal-cerol-ceryl. Usylcerol-ceryl-tyrosyl-cerol-aspartyl-tryptophyl-tyrosyl-glycyl-ceryl 3-anyl-high. Stidyllysyl-asparaginyl-phenylalanil-asparaginyl-valil-alanil 3-anyl-EC. Lysylusylazepryl-valil-aspartyl 3-anyl-valil-methionyl-methionyl-glycyl. Lysylysyl-lysyl 3-anyl-lysyl-glutamal-valil-lysyl-lysyl-aspartyl. Methionylglutamal-lysyl-glycylystidil-cerylysyl-lysyl-cerylalanil-argi. Nil-glutamal-lysyl-glycyl-glutamal-arginyl-valil-lysyl-tyrosyl-glutami. Glutamal-glycyl-glutamal-alanil-glutamal-arginyl-lysyl-arginyl-lysyl-glutamal-lyso. Lysyl-lystidil-aspartyl-lystidil-methionyl-glutamal-glutaminol-lysyl-lysyl-gluta. Malusyl 3-anyl-ceryl 3-anyl-valil-arginyl-lysyl-glutamal-lystidil-methionylt. Vrianylysyl glutamylysyl glycylysyl listidylysyl alanylysyl glutamyl. Inylalanyl cerol-aspartylysyl cystinylysyl alanylysyl 3-inyl glutaminylt. Ribdophylosylysyl alanyl glutamyl tyrosyl glutaminyl glutamyl lisolysylysyl. Istidylvalyl prolyl glutamyl glutamyl prolylysyl methionyl glutamylysyl tyrose. Ylglutamylysylysyl alanyl glutaminylysyl cyrilysyl tyrosylysyl cyrilug. Ylglutaminyl glutaminyl 3-anylvalylysyl cyrilystidyl glutamyl prolyl cyryl. Valylysyl cyrilvalylarginyl glutamylysyl glycyl glutamyl alanylysylysulg. Glutamylysyl valyl glutaminyl aspartyl valyl 3-anylysylysyl aspartylysyl. Isolysyl aspartyl glutaminylysyl glutaminyl cerol-aspartyl tyrosyl glutaminyl. Aspartylysyl cystinyl cyrilysolysyl glycylysyl glutamyl listidylvalyl fin. Ylylanyl cyrilysyl glutamyl alanylysyl valylysyl aspartylystidyl glutamyla. Spartyl tyrosyl asparaginal cerol glutamylysyl glutaminyl glutamyl valyl glutam. Yllysyl tryptophylosylysyl glutaminyl methionyl cerol glycylarginylysyl. Allylalanyl prolylaspartylysylysyl glutamyl 3-anyl cerol cyrilysyl gluta. Mol 3-anylysylysyl 3-anyl glutaminyl glutaminylysyl alanylystidylisty. Dilysyl alanyl methionyl methionyl glutamyl glutamyl lisolysyl alanyl glycylfin. Ylylanyl glutamyl aspartylarginylysyl asparaginyl asparaginylysyl glutamin. Ylmethionylysyl glycyl aspartyl 3-anylysylisolysyl glycyl glutaminyl cyst. Inylalanyl aspartylistidylysyl glutaminyl alanylysylysylysyl glutamin. Elasparaginyl valylistidyl alanylystidylysyl glutaminyl glycyl 3-anyl. Elaspartyl cyryl tyrosyl cyryl alanylysolysyl cystinyl cyryl 3-anyl alanyl glu. Tamanylarginyl methionyl tyrosyl glutaminyl cyrilysyl glutamyl listidyl glutam. Elysyl glutaminylysylistidyl valyl cyrilarginyl glutaminyl aspartyl 3-any. Lysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl cystinyl glutaminyl alanyl tryptophylosyl cyryl. Alanyl valyl glutaminyl prolylaspartylysyl glutamyl prolyl cyryl prolyl glutami. Nol prolyl prolylysyl cyrilarginyl alanyl glutamyl alanylysolysylysyl glutam. Invalylsylistidyl phenylalanylarginyl alanylysyl glutaminyl glutamyl. Utaminyl alanylarginyl 3-anyl tyrosylysyl aspartylysylysyl cystinyls. Rolmethionyl cystinyl aspartylysyl cerol-asparaganyl alanyl cyrilvalylysylt. 3-anyl 3-anyl alanylysyl aspartylysolysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl 3-anylgal. Utamyl glutaminyl 3-anylysylysyl glutamyl glutaminylysylysyl valyl glutam. Inylalanyl glutaminyl asparaganylysyl 3-anyl glutaminyl glycyl tryptophogal. Utamyl glutamolysolusilicylistidylusilicylceryl glutamolysyl triptop. Hylasolucyltyrosilucyl glutaminol-aspartyl glutaminyl glutam. Inylucyl glutaminol-asparaginil methionylsilarginil-arginilistidylserolg. Glutamilucyl glutamolysyl-asparaginil-asolucylalanil glutaminol-asparagine. Methionylvalilcerol glutaminol valilicylaspartyl phenylalanil valilicyliz. Elucyl glutaminyl cyrilycyl glutaminolalanil cyrilvalil-asparaginil threonil. Isolucylisolucyl glutamolysilvalil-asparaginil-isolucyl threonylycyli. Sil-glutamal cyryl prolyl glutamolystidylycyl glutamolysoleucylasper. Aginilistidyleucylasparaginilaspartyl glutaminol tryptophylucylaspartyl. Leucylcystinyl-arginil glutaminol cyrilasparaginil-asparaginileucylcysteine. Luracyl glutaminol-arginil glutamal-glutamolaspartyl luracyl glutaminol-arginilth. Reanyl-arginilaspartyl tyrosilistidylaspartyl cystinyl methionylasparaginil. Valil glutamal valil phenylalanil glutamolycyl phenylalanil threony. L-threonyl glutamal tryptophylaspartyl asparaginileucylalanil arginil cyrilasp. Ardilalanil glutamal cyryl threonylalanil valilistidyleucyl glutamolanil. Usilicyleucylalanil glutaminil glutamolarginilici. L-gyrosylalanil glutamolaspartyl uracilicylaspartyl glutaminilicyl. Glutaminilicyl methionylisilucyl glutamolystidylucylasparaginilucyla. Spartylaspartylycyl glutamolycyl valilicyl glutamal glutaminol threonylcer. E-listidylucyl glutamal glutaminol arginil tryptophyl phenylalanil glutaminol. Lucyl glutamolaspartyl uracilicilucylarginilicylasolucyl glutaminol. Valil cyrilvalil threonylasparaginileucyl glutamolycylasparaginimal. Valil glutaminol cyrilarginil phenylalanil glutaminil glutamolycyl methi. Anyl glutamal tryptophylalanil glutamal glutaminil prolylasp. Araginilysolucylalanil glutamolanil usilycyl glutaminol cyryl prolyl prol. Il prolylaspartyl methionylalanil glutaminolasparaginileucylucyl methionil. Aspartylistidylucylalanil asolucyl cystinyl cyryl glutamolycyl glutamol. Alanylycyl glutaminol methionyleucylucylycyl cyrilucylisolucylycyla. Spartylalanil valil methionylalanil uracil glycilucy. Lasparaginil glutamolarginil glutaminol valilosolucyl glutaminolicylalanil. Usulcirolasparatylalanil glutaminol cyrilistidyl valilolasparaginil cystinyl. Usulcerolaspartylyl Usulase-paraginilyl-glutamolysyl-3-enol-glutaminyl-phene Lalanyl-usul-methional-alanyl-phenylalanil-glutaminyl-alanil-3-enilsari Glutaminyl-lysyl-glutaminyl-glutaminyl-listidyl-glutamal-arginyl-silasol Usul-methional-phenylalanil-arginyl-glutamal-listidyl-lysyl-cysteine-lysyl Usul-prolylaspartyl-lysyl-glutaminyl-valylysyl-3-enil-C Tinylysyl-cerylalanil-glutaminol-alanil-cyrylysyl-3-enil-tyrosyl-glut Aminolasparaginilyl-3-enol-glycilysyl-tryptophylalanil-glutami Nilglycylarginyl-glutamal-lysyl-methional-valyl-3-enol-glutamal Glutaminyl-glutamal-lysyl-ceryl-glutamal-valylysyl-glycilysyl-glutamini Glutamal-lysyl-glutaminol-cerylvalyl-tyrosylaspartyl-cerylvalylysyl-glutami Nilysyl-cystinyl-cerylystidil-arginyl-lysyl-glutaminil-glutamal-lysyl-glutam Eel-lysylasparaginilyl-cerylystidil-phenylalanil-lysylgal Utamal-aspartyl-phenylalanil-aspartylysyl-lystidil-tryptophil Usilysyl-glutaminol-alanil-aspartylysyl-lysyl-valyl-3-enil-phenylalanil-proly Glutamal-lysyl-lysyl-asparaginilyl-glutamal-cerol-ceril Glutamal-lysyl-lystidil-3-enol-glutaminol-lysyl-alanil-lysyl-tyrosyl-glutamini Lasparaginilyl-lysyl-lysyl-glutamal-glutaminol-ceril-prolyl-glutamal-tyrosyl-gal Utamal-asparaginilyl-lysyl-lysyl-3-enil-lysyl-glutaminol-arginyl-3-ene Glycyl-glutaminol-3-enil-lysyl-lysyl-prolyl-ceril-lysyl-asparaginilyl-gluta Milvalyl-aspartylyστidil-ceril-tyrosyl-lysyl-cerol-glutamal-lysyl-lysyl-asparag Inilalanil-lysyl-prolyl-arginyl-glutaminol-phenylalanil-asparaginyl-valylysyl-lehu Silvalyl-alanil-lysyl-aspartylysyl-phenylalanil-tyrosyl-lysyl-valyl Glutaminil-glutamal-alanil-lysyl-lysyl-arginyl-lysyl-glutamal-tyrosyla Lanil-ceril-lysyl-lysyl-glutamal-lysyl-3-enil-3-enol-glutaminol-ceril-lehu Silcerol-glutamal-lysyl-glutamal-alanil-glutaminol-phenylalanil-lysyl-arginylm Thionyl-ceril-lysyl-prolyl-3-enil-aspartylysyl-alanil-valyl-glutamal-glut Amylalanil-lysyl-ceril-lysyl-glutaminol-aspartyl-glycyl-cystinyl-arginyl-alanil Isolysyl-lysyl-aspartyl-glutamal-valyl-alanil-glycyl-glycyl-glutamal-alani Valyl-aspartyl-glutamal-lysyl-asparaginilyl-glutaminol-lysyl-glycyl Phenylalanil-arginyl-ceril-3-enol-glycyl-glutaminol-prolyl-tryptophyl-glutamini Prolylaspartylysyl-methional-lysyl-lystidil-lysyl-valyl-3-enil-lysyl-tyrose Elistidil-arginyl-silarginyl glutaminyl 3-inyl glutamyl glutaminylor. Ginyl-valyl cyrilusilusyl glutamyl aspartyl 3-inyl 3-inyl cyrilalanyl tier. Acyl glutaminyl glutamyl listidyl glutamyl icyl methionyl cystinyl glutaminyl. Utaminylusyl glutamyl arginyl glutaminylusyl icyl cyrilvalylysyl glutamyl. Glutamyl glutaminyl cyrilysilvalyl asparaginyl glutamyl glutamyl 3-inylucy. Prolylalanyl glutamyl glutamyl icylusyl icyl methionyl tyrosilistidylcery. Lurisylalanyl glycyl cyrilusyl glutaminyl aspartyl cyrylglycylisolusyl valyl. Lucylicylarginyl valyl 3-inylisylusylistidylusyl glutamyl aspartyl. Silalanyl prolylistidyllusyl aspartyl prolylusylalanyl tyrosyl glutamyl. Elalanyl arginylistidyl glutaminyl lisolusyl glutaminyl cyryl tryptophyl glutam. Enylglycyl glutamylusyl icylusylusyl 3-inyl cyrilalanyl glic. Ylglutamyl 3-inylvalyl 3-inyl glutamyl cystinyl glutamyl cyrilarginyl methy. Anyl-valyl glutaminyl cyrilisolusyl aspartyl phenylalanyl glutaminyl 3-inylgal. Utamyl methionyl cyrilarginyl cyrilusyl aspartyl tryptophylusyl arginyl argi. Nylvalylysilalanyl glutamylusyl cyrylglycyl prolylvalyl tyrosylusyl aspar. Tellurisyl asparaginylusyl glutaminyl aspartylisolusyl glutaminyl glutamylgal. Utamyl lisolusyl arginylisolusyl glutaminyl lisolusyl listidyl glutaminyl. Glutamyl glutamyl valyl glutaminyl cyryl cyrilusyl arginylisolusyl methionyla. Sparaginylalanylusyl cyrilistidyllysyl glutamyl icyl glutamyl icyl phenyla. Lanyl 3-inylysilalanyl icyl glutamelysolusyl cyrilalanyl aspartyl. Usyl glutamal listidyl cyrilusylalanyl glutamelusyl cyryl glutamelusyl asp. Ardyl glycyl aspartylisolusyl glutaminyl glutamelalanylusyl arginyl 3-inyl. Arginyl glutaminylalanyl 3-inylusyl 3-inyl glutamelisolusyl tyrosylcery. Glutaminyl cystinyl glutaminyl arginyl tyrosyl glutaminyl valyl phenyla. Lanyl glutaminylalanyl asparaginyl aspartyl tryptophylusyl glutamal asp. Ardylalanyl glutaminyl glutamelusylusyl glutaminylusylalanyl glycyl aspa. Raginyl glycylusyl aspartyl valyl glutamal cyrilalanyl glutamal aspara. Ginylusylisyl cyrillistidyl methionyl glutamal phenylalanyl cyr. Eel 3-inyl glutamal aspartyl glutaminyl phenylalanylistidyl cyryl asparaginyl. Usyl glutamal glutamelusylistidyl cyrilusyl valylalanyl 3-inylusylas. Partyl prolylusylisolusylisyl prolyl 3-inyl glycylysyl glutamal aspartyl. Lysylglutamal glutaminylsylvalylylanyl cyrilosylglutamal Aryl glutaminyl arginyl methionyl cyryl arginyl aspartyl cyryl glycylالanyl glutam. Invalil aspartyl acylosyl glutaminyl arginyl cystinyl 3-enylалanyl glut. Aminyl tryptophyllistidil aspartyl tyrosyl glutaminyl isylylanyl arginyl glutam. Eel glutamal valilosolosyl glutamal methionyl asparaginyl aspartyl 3-ene. Glutamal isylosyl cyryl glutamal phenylalanyl cyrilosylosyl 3-enyl cyrilistidil glutamal glutamal isylosyls. Rol glutamal listidil esylylanyl valyl cyrilvalil asparaginal cyrilb. Henylalanyl listidil glutamal isylosyl valylalanyl glutamal glutami. Lysylylanyl cyryl glutaminyl glutamal isyl 3-enyl glycylase paraginilis. Partylylanyl cyryl esylylanyl 3-enylyl cyryl arginyl cyryl methionyl 3-O. Nol 3-enylvalyl tryptophyl glutaminyl arginyl tryptophyl 3-enyl arginyl Larginylalanyl valylalanyl glutaminyl aspartyl glutaminyl glutamal isylosolug. Elosyl glutamal aspartylalanyl valyl aspartyl glutamal tryptophyl 3-enyl glic. Eel phenylalanyl asparaginyl esylvalyl isylylanyl 3-enyl glu. Tamyl methionyl aspartyl glutaminyl aspartyl isyletu. Sulprolyl glycyl cyrillalanyl glutamal isylylanyl cyrilesylylanyl glutami. Luracylosyl 3-enylyl glutamal tyrosylistidil aspartyl 3-enylb. Henylalanyl valylosyl glutamal glutaminyl glutamini. Cyrillalanyl glycyl methionyl arginyl glutaminyl 3-ene. Luracyl cyryl methionyl uracil glutaminyl aspartyl glycylالanyl prolylthr. Onyl prolyl glycyl glutamal prolylyl methionyl glutaminyl glut. Amylisolusyl 3-enylanyl methionyl glutaminyl aspartyl arginyl cystinyl Silase paragonyl methionyl glutaminyl glutamal isylvalyl 3-enyl asparagine. Eel glycylysyl valylysyl glutaminyl glutamal isylaspartyl arginyl. Glutamal methionyl valyl glutamal 3-enyl glutaminyl isolysylase paragonyl cyryl. Valylysyl cystinyl tryptophyl valyl glutaminyl glutamal 3-enyl glutamal. Tyrosylosyl glycylase paragonyl prolyl 3-enyl glutamal isolysylase. Ardylanyl glutaminyl glutamal glutaminyl isolysylase. Luracyl 3-enyl glutamal 3-enyl asparagonyl arginyl glutaminyl. Asparaginal isolysyl glutamal isyl methionyl glutamal glutamini. Lysyl glutamal isyl tyrosylosyl glycylosyl tyrosyl 3-enyl Prolylceryl glutamilyl cerylyl glutaminylyl alanil glutamal valula. Lanoleucilase perdiluracil solucilarginil aspartyl glutaminylysolucil. Glutaminyl aspartylycyl solucilycyl glutamal valil glutamal glutaminyl ceryl. Lysilanil 3-anilceryl glutaminyl glutamilyl cerylarginil glutaminylyso. Lysyl glutaminylysyl alanillysyl aspartylurysyl 3-anyl-3-anylysyl. Usilurysyl 3-anylysyl alanylysyl 3-anyl aspartyl asparaginilv. Alilvalyl glutaminyl alanylysyl 3-anyl aspartyl glutaminylysyl valylusulg. Lysyl glutamal glutamilyl spartyl glycyl cystinyl asparaginil cerylysyl. Usyl methionyl glutamilyl spartyl alanyl valyl glutaminylysyl phenyl. Alanylysyl glutamal glutaminyl asparaginil glycyl glutaminylysyl glycylici. Prolyleucyl alanylysyl solucyl glycylicylucyl 3-anyl glutamyl. Usylistidyl glutaminyl 3-anylysylucylarginil glutaminyl alanilg. Glutamyl asparaginil arginilucyl cerylycylucyl asparaginil glutaminyl alani. Lalanyl cerylistidylucyl glutamal tyrosyl asparaginil glutamal methi. Anylucyl glutamilyl tryptophylyl glutamally. Silalanylysyl valylucyl alanylistidyl glycyl 3-anylysylucyl alanyl trypt. Ophalasparaginil cerylalanyl ceryl glutaminylysylarginil glutamal glutaminyl. Tyrosylicylucylistidyl glutaminyl 3-anylysylucyl glutamal gluta. Milcerylycyl glutamilysylucyl aspartylceryl glutamilysyl glutamal alanilum. Thionyl 3-anyl glutamilysylucyl glutaminyl tyrosylucyl 3-anyl cerylval. Yltyrosylcystinyl 3-anyl glutamilysyl methionyl ceryl glutaminyl glutaminyl. Valylalanyl glutamilysyl glycylarginil glutamal 3-anyl glutamal glutamiletu. Silarginil glutaminyl methionylysylucylarginilucyl glutamin. Elasparaginillucyl glutaminyl aspartyl alanylysyl aspartyl methionyly. Silycyl phenylanyl glutamal glutamilysyl glutamini. Lalanyl alanylysyl glutamal glutaminyl alanyl 3-anylysyl. 3-anyl ceryl prolyl glutamal valyl glycylarginilucyl cerylucylycyl glutam. Yl glutaminylysyl cerylistidylarginil glutaminylistidylucylucyl ceryl. Glutamal methionyl glutamal cerylucylycyl prolylycyl valyl glutaminyl alanyl. Valyl glutaminylysyl cystinyl glutaminyl cerylalanylysylarginilucyl. Prolyl glutamal aspartyl valyl valylalanyl cerylucyl prolylucyl cystinolyse. Tidylalanylysylarginilucyl glutaminyl glutamal alanyl ceryl. Arginylysyl glutaminyl listidyl 3-anyl alanylysyl glutaminyl glutamine. Cystinyl asparaginilysyl methionyl glutaminyl alanyl valylgal. Glutaminyl tyrosyl glutamyl tyrosyl glutaminyl methion. Elysylistidylysyl glutaminyl glutamyl glycerol. Nylistidyl arginyl glutaminyl aspartilysyl prolilvolilanyl. 3-anyl cerol asparaginilysyl glutaminyl alanyl. Glutaminylysyl ceryl arginylistidyl alanyl glutam. Inylysyl glycyl tyrosyl glutaminyl alanyl cerylysyl asparaginilysyl cystinylysyl methionylysyl 3-on. Methionylysyl alanylysylistidyl alanyl 3-anyl methionylysyl 3. Enylvalyl 3-anyl glutamyl glycylysyl alanyl glycyl. Reenyl glutamyl aspartilysyl glutamylysyl prolyl 3-o. Nyl prolyl ceryl alanylistidyl prolyl cerylvolil methionyl 3-on. Elylanyl glycyl arginyl cystinylistidyl 3-anylysyl ceryl prolylvoly. 3-anyl glutamyl cerol glycyl glycyl 3-anyl asparag. Inylcerol glutamilysyl ceryl prolyl alanyl cystinyl arginyl cer. Prolyl ceryl prolylvolil alanyl asparaginyl 3-anyl aspartyl alanyl cerylvolil. Asparaginyl glutaminyl aspartylysyl alanyl tyrosyl glutaminyl alani. Lysyl ceryl alanyl glutamyl arginylysyl glutaminyl 3-anyl aspartyl alanyl al. Anylysylisylistidyl prolyl ceryl 3-anyl ceryl alanyl cerol glutaminylgal. Butamyl phenylalanyl tyrosyl glutamyl prolyl prolyl cerylala. Nyl 3-anyl alanylysylisyl glycyl aspartylysyl glutaminyl arginyl ceryltree. Toffel glutamyl 3-anylysyl asparaginyl valilysyl cerol glutamyl. Isyl glutaminyl arginyl 3-anylysyl tyrosyl glutaminyl arg. Inyl glutaminylysyl tyrosyl aspartyl cerylysyl glutamin. Cerylysyl ceryl 3-anylysyl methionyl alanylysyl glutami. Lysylisyl cerol glutamyl ceryl prolyl glycyl arginyl ceri. Prolyl glutamyl cerol glutaminyl methionyl alanyl glutamilystidyl glutaminyl al. Anylysyl methionyl aspartyl glutamilysyl methionylysyl glutamin. Elaspartyl glutamilysyl asparaginyl glutaminyl cerol. Usilalanyl glutamilysyl valyl cerol cystinyl glutamyl. Alanylaspartyl prolylalanil glutamyl glutaminylusylalanillusyl glutaminyls. Aryl 3-anylusyl 3-anilvalillusylalanil glutamyl arginil methionil cyrilt. 3-anylysylusyl arginil methionil isylalanil cyryl glycylysyl arginil glutami. Nilusylusyl glutamyl glutamyl isolusylase paraginylaspartyl glutaminyl. Usyl glutamyl glutamyl glutaminyl arginil glutaminyl glutamyl glutaminyl alanil. Usyl glutaminyl arginil tyrosyl arginil cystinyl glutamyl alanylaspartyl glutami. Luracylase-partyl cyryl tryptophylusylusyl cyryl 3-anylysylalanil 3-any. Luracylase-partyl 3-anylalanylusyl cyryl prolylysyl glutamyl prolylmi. Thionylaspartyl methionil glutamyl alanil glutaminylusyl methionylaspartyl C. Steinyl glutaminyl asparaginil methionil uracil valyl glutamyl lisolusyl glutamyl. Glutaminyl isilvalilvalililanilusyl cyryl glutamylusyl cyrylvalilistidae. Lasparaginil glutamyl asparaginilusylusylusyl glutamyl glycylysilalani. Listidyl 3-anylysylaspartyl glutamyl alanil glutamyl glutaminylusylalani. Glycylysilusyl arginil arginilusylysyl glycyl cyrilusylusyl glutami. Luracyl glutaminyl arginil alanilusyl listidyl aspartyl isyl glutaminylusyl. Asparaginal methionil glutaminyl glycyl 3-anylalanil glutaminyl glutamyl isyl. Glutamyl glutamyl cyrilaspartyl valylaspartyl uracil 3-anylalanil 3-anyl-glu. Tamanyl cyryl prolyl glycyl valyl glutaminyl glutamyl tryptophylusylalanil glut. Aminylalanil arginil 3-anyl 3-anyl tryptophyl 3-anyl glutaminyl glutaminyl. Arginil glutaminyl cyryl cyrilusyl glutaminyl 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 isyl gluta. Malusyl glutamyl glutaminyl glutamilusylalanil glutamyl glutaminyl isyl cyr. Elusylusyl arginil cyrylvalililanil cyryl arginil glycyl glutamyl glutamylase. Olusylusylisolusyl glutaminyl listidyl cyrilalanil alanil glutamyl 3-anyl. Cyryl glycylaspartyl alanil glycyl glutamyl isyl prolylaspartyl valylusyl cyri. Glutaminyl glutamilusyl glycyl methionil glutamyl glycyl glutamyl isyl cyryls. Arylalanil glutamyl aspartyl glutaminyl methionil arginil methionil isyl triptop. Hyl glutamyl cyrilusyl listidyl glutaminyl glutamyl phenylalanil cyryl 3-anyl. Lysyl glutaminyl isolusylusyl glutaminyl asparaginil valilusyl glutamyl. Glutaminyl 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 valilusyl tyrosyl cyrilargin. Il prolylasparaginil arginilusylusyl cyryl glycyl valyl prolylusyl tyrosyl. Lysyl glycylaspartyl valyl prolyl 3-anyl glutaminyl aspartyl isyl cyrilalanil. Alyl 3-anyl cyrilusylusylaspartyl glycylusylasparaginil glutaminyl ala. Nolphenylalanyl glutamyl glutamyl valyl cerol cerol glutaminyl cerol glycyl glycyl alanylysilarginyl glutaminyl cerylysolucyl listadilucyl glutamyl glutamine lysylucyl tyrosylaspartyl glycyl valyl cerylalanyl 3-anyl ceryl 3-anyltree Tofalucylaspartyl valyl glutamyl glutamal-arginylucyl phenylalanine Ylvalylylanyl 3-anylalanylucylucyl prolyl glutamal glutamal 3-anyl glut Amyl 3-anyl cystinylucyl phenylalanil asparagonyl glutaminyl glutamal lysol Usilysylalanylisylspartylisolucylysyl glutamal methionyl cerol glutamal Glutamal methionyl aspartylysylasparagonylysylasparagonylucyl phenylalanine Ylcerol glutaminylalanyl phenylalanyl prolyl glutamal asparagonyl glycolasparty Lasparagonyl arginyl aspartyl valylsolucyl glutamal aspartyl 3-anylucylgal Isylcystinylucylucyl glycolarginylucyl cerylucylucylaspartyl seri Valylasparagonyl glutaminyl arginyl cystinyl listidyl glutaminyl methion Elysyl glutamal arginylucyl glutaminyl glutaminyl lysolucylucylasparagony Phenylalanil glutaminyl asparagonyl aspartylysylyl phenylala Nol 3-anyl cerylucylalanyl aspartyl asparagonylysyl tyrosylysyl Usilysyl glutaminylysylucylalanyl asparagonyl valyl phenylalanil glutamal Glutaminyl prolyl valylalanyl glutamal glutaminyl lysolucyl glutamal Usyl glutaminyl glutaminylalanyl glutamal aspartyl glycosylysyl glutamal Inylalanyl aspartylalanyl glycolysylysyl glutamalucylysylarginy Larginyl glycolaspartylysylucyl glutaminyl valyl glutamal glutaminyl prolyls Aryl methionyl glutaminyl glutamalucyl cerylysylucyl glutaminyl aspartylum Thionyl tyrosylaspartyl glutamalucyl methionyl methionylsylucyl Lysyl cerylarginyl arginyl cerol glycolysylasparagonyl glutaminyl asparagonyl Lucyl 3-anylucylysyl cerol glutaminyl tyrosyl glutamal arginyl alanylucy Glutaminyl aspartylysylalanyl aspartylysylucyl glutamal 3-anyl glycyl Glutaminyl glutamilysyl methionylanyl glycolaspartyl glutaminylysylasoletu Silisolucyl valyl cerol cerylysyl glutamal glutamal lysolucyl glutaminyl glutam Inylucylucylaspartylysylistidylysyl glutamal tyrosyl phenylalanyl glut Aminyl glycolysyl glutamal cerylistidyl methionylsylucyl 3-anylgal Utamal 3-anylucyl phenylalanyl arginylysylisylucyl ceryl phenyl Alanylalanyl valyl glutaminylysyl glutamal 3-anyl glutaminyl phenylalanylase Tidal 3-anyl glutamalucyl methionylanyl glutaminylalanyl cerylalanyl valley Luracilisilarginolalanistilisilarginilglycylvalylglutamylusilglu. Tamil tyrosilicyllucillucilglutamyl 3-anyl tryptophylserylistidillucilla. Spartyl glutamal aspartyl glutaminylglutaminylglutamylucilcerylarginylglut. Aminolucilglutamyl valylvalylglutamylcerylcerylacylprolylcerylvalyl. Glycilucilvalylglutamyl glutamal-asparaginylglutamal-aspartylarginyllucil. Isoleucilaspartylarginylsolucil 3-anyluciltyrosylglutaminylistidol. Usilysilcerylcerylacylglutamaltyrosilglutaminylprolylysil. Luciltyrosylglutaminylvalyleucilaspartylaspartylglycylisilarginylluci. Luracilosolucilcerylcysteinylcerylacylglutamals. Rolglutaminyllucilase-paraginilyl-glutaminyllucil-glycylglutamal-cystinyl-trib. Tophilucilcerolasparaginyl 3-anylasparaginylesylmethionylcerylsilgal. Utamallucilistidil-arginylucil-glutamal 3-anylysilucilucilicilist. Idyltryptophil 3-anylarginyl-tyrosyl-glutaminylcerylglutamalcerylalanisp. Ardyluracilistidil-tryptophylucilglutaminylcerylalanisp. Ardylarginylucil-glutamyl-phenylalanil-tryptophil 3-anyl-glutaminylglutami. Nulcerylvalyl 3-anyl-valyl-prolyl-glutaminyllucil-glutamal-methionil. Valylarginylaspartylistidilucilase-paraginilalanil-phenylalanil-lucil-glut. Amyl-phenylalanil-cerylysil-glutamal valylaspartylalanil-glutaminyl-cerylceryl. Lucilysil-cerylcerylvalylucil-ceryl 3-anyl-glycylase-paraginilyl-glutaminyl. Usilucilarginylucilisilvalylaspartyl 3-anylalanil 3-anyl-luc. E-larginyl-cerylglutamallucil-cerylarginylisolucilase-partylcerylglutaminylt. Riptophil 3-anylaspartylucil 3-anylasparaginylisolucil-prolylal. Enolvalylglutaminylglutaminylistidil-glutaminyllucil-glutaminylm. Ethionelaspardylisilucil-prolylcerylarginylistidilalanillisolucil-ceryl. Glutamyl-valylmethionil-ceryltryptophylisolucil-ceryllucil-methionil-glutami. Lasparaginilyl-valylsolucil-glutaminylisilaspartyl-glutamylasparty-lasparagi. Nulisolucil-isosparaginylcerylsolucil-glycyltyrosilicylalanilisoluc. E-listidil-glutamal-tyrosyl-glutaminylysyltyrosilicyl-glycylphenolala. Nilysylacyllucilase-partylisolucilase-paraginyl-cystinylysyl-glutaminylluc. Il-3-anyl-valylaspartyl-phenylalanil-valylasparaginilyl-glutaminylcerylvalyl. Usil-glutaminylysolucil-cerylglutaminylaspartyl-valyl-glutamyl-cerylisi. Larginylcerol-aspartylysyl 3-anylaspartyl phenylalanil glutamyl gluta. Minolysyl glycolalanyl methionylasparaginylysyl cyryl tryptophyl glutaminyl. Isolysylysyl glutaminyl glycolysyl valyl 3-anyl glutamylysylasylysylg. Glutaminylysylysyl glutamyl glycolysylysyl glutamyl cyryl tryptophylsyr. Eel-glutamyl tyrosyl glutamolasparaginilasparaginilyl glutaminyl cystinyl. Usilysyl 3-anyl tryptophyl phenylalanil glutamyl 3-anyl glutaminyl glutamyl. Lysylarginylysylysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl listidylarginylysylysyl glycyl. Aspartyl glutaminylalanil cyrylvalyl glutaminylasparaginylalanil Spartyl cystinyl glutaminylaspartylysyl glutamolaspartylysylisolysyli. Silalanylysyl glutamylysyl glutamylvalyl glutamolysylisolysyl glutamylglu. Taminilasparaginyl glycolysylalanylysylisolysyl glutaminylasparaginyl. Isolysyl glutamolaspartyl cyryl cyrylysolysyl valyl methionyl cyryl 3-O. Nilysylarginyl glutamylysyl glycyl glutaminyl 3-anyl tryptophylalanylasp. Araginylysylaspartylistidyl methionylvalyl glycyl glutaminylysylisyles. Olysylysylysyl cyrylvalylysylaspartyl glutaminyl tryptophylcyryl. Cyrylistidylisylvalylanil phenylalanylaspartylysylisolysylasparagini. Cyryl tyrosylysyl methionyl glutamolalanylarginyl tyrosyl cyrylysyl cyryla. Reginyl phenylalanylarginylysylysyl 3-anyl glycyl cyrylysyl glutamylala. Nylvalyl glutaminyl valylaspartylylasparaginylysyl glutaminyl. Asparaginylysyl glutaminylaspartylysyl glutamylysyl glutaminyl. Glutamilarginyl cyrylysyl glutaminylysyl phenylalanil glycyl cyrylysolysylt. Hreanylasparaginyl glutaminylysylysyl glutamyl cystinyl listidyl pro. Lilprolilvalyl 3-anyl glutamyl 3-anylysyl 3-anylasparaginyl 3-anyl. Usilysyl glutamyl valylasparaginyl methionylarginyl tryptophylasparaginylasp. Araginylysylysyl glutamyl glutamolysylysylalanyl glutamyl glutaminyl. Eel-glutaminyl cyryl cyrylysylalanylysylysyl glutaminylysyl tryptophylgal. Utaminylarginyl tyrosylysylaspartyl tyrosyl cyrylysyl glutaminyl cysteinylal. Anyl cyryl 3-anylvalyl glutaminyl 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 glutamolaspartylargin. Eel 3-anylasparaginyl glutamolysylysylalanyl 3-anylasparag. Inilysylaspartylysylalanylaspartyl glutamylvalylalanyl 3-on. Eel tryptophylosylysyl glutaminylaspartyl cysteinylasparaginylaspartylysyl. Lysylysyl glycolysyl glycyl 3-anylvalylysylaspartyl cyrylysyl phenyla. Lanyl phenylalanyllysyl listidyl glutamylysyl glycyl glutamal glutaminyl lysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl valulyl aspartyl alanyl cerulanyl alanyl cerulanyl lysyl glutaminyl cerul aspartyl glutaminylysyl cerylysyl cerul glutamin listidylysyl cystinyl alanylysyl glutamal glutaminyl alanylysyl cyste Nylysyl glutaminyl glutaminyl 3-anyl cerylysyl glutaminyl alanyl glycyl valley Lysyl aspartyl tyrosyl glutamal 3-anyl phenylanyl alanylysyl cerylysyl Glutamyl glutamal alanyl tryptophylosylysyl valyl glutamal alanyl Utamal lysyl glutaminyl glycyl glutaminyl aspartyl prolylcery Listidyl cerul aspartyl lysyl ceryl 3-anylysyl lysyl glutaminyl glutamal Arginyl methional glutamal lysyl glycyl glutaminyl methional Lysyl phenylanyl ceryl methional alanyl prolyl aspartyl lysyl aspartyl Ginylysyl asparaginyl glutamal glycyl tyrosyl arginylysyl prolyl Lasparaginyl aspartylysyl glutamal lysyl arginyl methional glutaminyl Asparaginylysyl asparaginyl arginyl listidyl tryptophyl cerylysyl Cerul glutaminyl 3-anyl glutamal arginyl phenylanyl cerylysyl Lysyl glutaminyl ceryl phenylanyl lysyl glutaminyl listidyl glutaminyl 3-anyl phenylanyl lysyl glutamal cystinyl glutamal 3-anyl tryptophy Methional glutamal phenylanyl lysyl valyl glutaminyl 3-anyl glutamal glutam Inylysyl alanyl valyl glutamal lysyl cerul glycyl asparaginyl tyrosyl Glutaminyl listidylysyl glutamal glutaminyl arginyl alanyles Tidal glutamal phenylanyl glutamal methional phenylala Nulceryl arginyl glutaminyl listidyl cerylysyl Solysyl aspartyl glycyl glutaminyl arginyl glutamal Minyl glycyl glutaminyl valyl aspartyl arginyl aspartyl glutamal phenylal Anyl asparaginylysyl 3-anylysyl cerul asparaginyl gluta Minyl tryptophyl glutaminyl glycyl valylysyl arginyl alanyl glutamin glutaminyl arginyl glycyl aspartyl cerul glutaminyl Isolysyl arginyl glutaminyl tryptophyl glutaminyl arginyl tyrosyl arginyl glutam methional alanyl glutamal arginyl tryptophylysyl valyl glut Amyl valyl ceryl tyrosylysyl prolyl methional cerul glycyl cerylvol prolylysyl glutaminyl alanyl arginyl 3-anyl Sulfenylanyl aspartyl glutamal valyl glutaminyl phenylanyl glutamal Silvalyl phenylalanil glutaminil glycylceryl tyrosinase. Olusilusyl 3-anilvalyl glutamolalanyl glycelycyl glutaminolusilusyl. Lucylcerylalanyl aspartylceryl glycylalanyl glutamolalanyl gluta. Minolalanyl glutamolusylanyl glutamolisolusyl glutaminil. Eptophylicylcerylanyl cerylmethional arginylusyl glutam. Inilysilysilysilusylalanyl phenylalanyalusilusilysilaspartyl. Offal glutamolysilcystinyl glutamolysilglycylysolusylalanyl aspartylseri. Lurasyl glutamolysilusyl arginyl 3-anyl phenylalanyalysilysilysilusi. Ulceryl glutaminyl cerylusyl prolyl aspartylistidylistidyl glutamal. Lucylistidylanyl glutaminal methional arginyl cystinylysyl gluta. Malusyl glutamal asparaginilalanyl valyl glycylceryl tryptophyl 3-anyl aspar. Tylaspartylurysyl 3-anyl glutaminolusyl cerylusylusylysilaspartyl. Reanylusyl cerylanyl tyrosylusyl cerylanyl aspartylisoluk. Ylcerylusolusylusylase glutamolarginylvalyl glutamolusolusyl. Glutaminal tryptophyl glutamolysyl cystinyl. Glutaminolusyl cerylusyl arginyl glutaminolysolusyl. Glycyl glutamolarginylusylase paraginyl glutamal tryptophyl alanyl valyl phenyl. Alanylceryl glutamolysilasparaginylysyl glutamolysyl cystinyl glutamaltr. Eptophylusyl 3-anyl glutaminal methional glutamal cerylsylvalylceryl glut. Aminolasparaginyl glycylase partylysolusyl glutamal may. Thianylysylusyl glutamolysilusylysilaspartyl tyrosyl glutaminil. Tamil glutamolisolusylalanyl glutaminil. Isylasolusyl glutaminal methionil glycyl glutamala. Reginylusylalanyl cerylistidal glutamal cerylysilalanyl. Utamolisolusyl glutamal tyrosylysylusyl glycylsylvalylasparaginyl aspar. Tylarginyl tryptophyl glutaminolistidylsylusylase partyluracylysolusyl. Alanyl arginylvalylysilysylusylysyl glutamal 3-anylusyl valyla. Lanylvalyl glutaminolysylase partylysilasparaginyl methionylseri. Ulcerylusyl arginyl 3-anyl tryptophylusylalanylistidylysyl glutami. Ulceryl glutamolysylalanylysyl prolylysolusyl valyl tyrosylaspartyl cerylsi. Stynylasparaginylceryl glutamal lysolusyl glutaminal arginylysyletu. Silasparaginyl glutamyl glutaminyl glutaminyl glutamolysyl glutaminylarginyl. Aspartylysolysyl glutamolysilistidil ceryl 3-inyl glycyl valulalanyl ceryl. Valulysilasparaginylysyl cystinyl glutamal valulysilysilisitilasp. Artyl cystinylaspartylalanyl cystinylalanyl 3-inylaspartylalanyl glutamal. Cystinylaspartyl cerylasolysyl glutaminyl glutaminylalanyl 3-inylarginyla. Sparaginylysilaspartylarginylarginyl tryptophylarginylasparaginylasolug. Ylcystinylalanyl methionyl ceryl methionyl glutamolarginylarginylusilysyl. Isolysyl glutamal glutamal 3-inyl tryptophylarginylusyl tryptophyl glutami. Nilysyl phenylalanylusilaspartylaspartyl tyrosyl cerylarginyl phenylalanyl. Glutamolaspartyl tryptophylusilysyl ceryl glutamolarginyl 3-inylala. Nilalanyl phenylalanyl prolylceryl glycylvalylosolusyl tyrosyl. Onyl valulalanylysyl glutamal glutamolysilysyl phenylalanyl glutamala. Lanyl phenylalanyl glutaminylarginyl glutaminyl valulistidyl glutamal cysteine. Lurasyl 3-inyl glutaminylusyl glutamolysilisolusilasparaginylysyl glu. Tamanyl tyrosylarginylarginylusilalanylarginyl glutamolasparaginilarginyl. 3-inylaspartyl cerylalanyl cystinyl cerylusilysyl glutaminyl methyonylva. Lilistidyl glutamal glycylasparaginyl glutaminylarginyl tryptophylaspartylas. Paraginylusyl glutaminylysilarginyl valyl 3-inyl cerylasolusilusilarg. Inylarginylusilysilistidil phenylalanylysolysyl glycyl glutaminylarginy. Glutamal phenylalanyl glutamal 3-inylalanylarginylaspartyl ceryles. Olusilusyl valyl tryptophylusyl 3-inyl glutamal methionylaspartylurysyl. Glutaminylusyl 3-inylasparaginylasolysyl glutamalistidil phenylalanyls. Aryl glutamal cystinylaspartyl valyl glutaminylalanylysilyl glut. Aminylusilysilalanyl phenylalanyl glutaminyl glutamalysolusyls. Arylusilasparaginylistidylasparaginylysilyl glutamal glutaminyli. Solusilysolysilanyl glutaminyl glycyl glutamal glutaminylusilysolysylg. Lutamylysyl ceryl glutamal prolyllusilaspartylalanylalanylsolusilysolug. Glutamal glutamalysilaspartyl glutamolysilarginylarginyl tyros. Ylcystinyl glutaminyl glutamal valyl phenylalanyl glycylarginylvalyl glutamala. Reginal tyrosilistidilisilysilysilysolysilarginylusyl prolyllusyl pair. Oleolaspartylaspartyl glutamalistidillaspartylurysyl cerylaspartylarginyl glu. Tamilucyl glutamilucyl cerolalanalalanalalanalocyl cerolaspa. Ritaluracilistidil tryptophyllistidil aspartyl cerelalanil cer. Elucilucyl ceryl prolyl glutaminol prolyl cerolasparaginil ceryl. Lucyl cerylucylalanil glutaminol prolylucylarginil cerylglutamilarginils. Arylglycylarginil aspartyl 3-anyl prolylalanil cerylvalyl aspartyl cerylosol. Ucyl prolylucyl glutamyl tryptophyll aspartylistidil aspartyl tyrosylaspartyl. Lucyl cerolarginil aspartyluracil glutamyl cerylalanil methionil cerylarginila. Lanalucyl prolylceryl glutamyl aspartyl glutamyl glycyl glutaminol asp. Artylaspartylycylaspartyl phenylalanil tyrosylucylarginil glycylalanilvol. Elalanalucyl cerylglycylaspartylistidil cerylalanelucyl glutamyl cerolgal. Utaminolysolucylarginil glutaminylucyl glycylicylalanelycylaspartylas. Partyl cerylarginil phenylalanil glutaminolysolucyl glutaminil 3. Anil glutamal asparaginil cerylycyl 3-anyl prolylt. 3-anyl glycyl prolyl glutamilycylaspartyl 3-anyl ceryl tyrosylicyl glycylt. Urocyl methionelycylucyl glycyl glutamal cystinyl cerylyso. Lucylaspartyl cerylvalylycylarginilucyl glutamalistidilicylucylicy. Glutamal cerylucyl prolyl glycyl phenylalanil valyl. Asparaginilucylistidil ceryl 3-anyl glutamal 3-anyl glutaminol 3-anyla. Lanil glycylvalylisolucylaspartylarginil tryptophyll glutamilucylucyl glue. Taminilalanil glutaminolanilucyl cerylycyl glutamilucylarginil methion. Elycyl glutaminolasparaginillucyl glutaminelycyl tryptophyll glutaminil glut. Aminyl phenylalanil asparaginil cerolaspardyluracil cerylosolucyl. Tryptophyllalanil tryptophyllosol glycylaspartyl 3-anyl glutamal glue. Tamilucyl glutaminylucyl glutaminolaginilucyl glutamilucyls. Aryl 3-anyl aspartylisolucyl glutaminol 3-anylisolucyl glutamilucyl glue. Taminilisolucylicylicyl glutamilucyl glutaminolicilalanilv. Allylaspartylistidilarginilicylalanilysolucylicylucyl cerylosoletu. Silasparaginillucyl cystinyl ceryl prolyl glutamal phenylalanil 3-anyl gluta. Minilalanil aspartyl cerylycyl glutamal cerylarginil aspartyluracil glutaminol. Aspartylarginilucyl ceryl glutaminol methionil asparaginil glycylarginil trib. Tofalaspartylarginil valyl cystinyl cerylucylucyl glutamal tribt. Ophalarginil glycylucylucyl glutaminol aspartylalanilucyl methionil glut. aminylcystinyl glutaminyl glycyl phenylalanil listidyl glutamyl methionyl ceryl. Histidyl glycyllyl methionylyl glutamyl asparaginil isoleuc. Elaspartyl arginyl ethyl asparaginil glutamyl isoleucyl valyl prolylysol. Usilaspartyl ceryl asparaginil usilaspartyl alanil glutamyl isoleucyl. Utaminyl aspartyl listidyl esyl glutaminyl usyl methionyl glutaminyl I. Solucylicylistidyl glutamyl usyl glutamyl ceryl glutaminyl usyl arg. Invalilanyl ceryl usyl glutaminyl aspartyl methionyl ceryl cystinyl glutam. Inylusilyl valyl asparaginil alanil glutamyl glycyl 3-anyl aspartyl cyst. Inylusyl glutamyl alanil isyl glutamyl isyl valylistidyl valylisolucyl glic. Elasparaginil arginil usilyl glutamyl valyl ceryla. Reginal listidyl isyl glutamyl aspart. Elvalyl ceryl glutaminyl aspartyl ceryl triptop. Hyl ceryl alanil aspartyl glutamyl aspartyl 3-anyl glycyl ceryl. Valyl ceryl prolyl 3-anyl glycyl arginyl ceryl 3-anyl prolyl asparaginilla. Reginyl glutaminyl isyl 3-anyl prolyl arginyl glycyl esyl cystinyl cerylusyl. Ceryl glutaminyl prolyl glycyl ceryl valyl ceryl prolylistidyl ceryla. Reginal ceryl 3-anyl esyl glycyl ceryl aspartyl cerylusyl glue. Tamyl prolyl glycyl arginyl glycyl phenylalanil. Usyl phenylalanil arginyl valylusyl alanil usyl prolylusolg. Glutaminyl glycyl alanilk. Istianyl usyl valyl prolyl methionyl ceryl glutamyl aspartyl tyrosylcer. L-cystinyl alanil usyl ceryl asparaginil phenylalanil argin. L-ceryl phenylalanil listidyl prolyl methionyl usyl arginyl tyrosyl 3-anyl asp. Araginil glycyl prolyl prolylucine.